Well, I guess this is officially the first episode of our newly revived podcast here. Formerly known as Something Super, the artist formerly known as. After quite a bit of a hiatus due to life's alter stresses and shit going on, and basically just life comes at you fast. Is that Ferris Bueller quote? So we are pivoting a little bit. Still going to be talking pop culture, but now it's going to be more along the lines of outside of comic book stuff as well, which we're still going to have our talks on Star Wars and Marvel and DC and things of that nature, but with a little bit more flair to it. Maybe we'll do music, maybe we'll do video games, maybe we'll do who knows. And to pair with that, if you are over the age of 21, at least in the United States, if you listen anywhere else, whatever your legal drinking age is, crack a beer with us because our new podcast is The Nerds Who Drink. So, just for the audio, a little crack right there. This week we will be enjoying the Ecto Cooler from Ship Bottom, which is a local brewery to us. And we're going to get a little quick pour in there. I hope that's just like aesthetically pleasing to the ears. Look at that shit. It's fucking green. I told you it was green.
I know. I'm excited.
It's actually beautiful. It
Smells
smells
good.
like a fruit roll up. It's an IPA, so I know it's going to be hoppy, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not a huge IPA person, but you know what? Each week we're going to try something different. Um, and our listeners are obviously able to suggest things for us to drink within reason. I'm not drinking goat's piss like they did in Beer Fest. But speaking of speaking of Beer Fest, uh, have you watched Tacoma FD by any chance?
I have not, but I heard it's absolutely hysterical.
I mean, it's essentially Beer Fest with firefighters.
It's all the same. It's most of the same guys, isn't it? Or it's only
It's
like one or two of them.
no, it's all a broken lizard. So like they introduce the other like lesser people in the show each episode.
Right, because Farva's like one of the main ones, right?
He's the chief, and then one of the guys is like the captain of the fire station. But as the episodes go on, like one of the trainers for the fire academy comes, and he's one of the other guys, and like they're just slowly introducing people from Beer Fest back into it. So I'm excited. It's funny as shit so far. Like I'll lay in bed pissing my pants, which is, I mean, that's the kind of humor. If you're into that kind of stuff, like that is, it's awesome. So if you like Beer Fest, if you like things of that nature, I'd give Tacoma FD, a
Not like
4.3,
2 years ago,
4.4.
right?
What's up?
That was like 2 years ago, I think it started, right?
I
Or
think it
something like
probably
that.
did start a couple years ago. I know there's at least two seasons out right now. I'm just cruising my way through season one in my free time. I figured why not get something new. So, all right, Mark, let's give this bad boy a taste and get some first thoughts on it. It's not bad.
No.
I'm not a huge, again, not a big IPA guy. I know you're not either. So it's kind of a bold move to like out of the gate with this one. But it says it's brewed with orange and it's very like heavily citrused. So I think it's awesome. But again, I'm always about supporting a local brewery. We have the Tap House or the Barrel House over in Swarthmore at Linville Orchards. They got the beer garden sponsored by Ship Bottom. So, a lot of local stuff is actually where I got this beer. But
At Lindilla or at the brewery?
at
I've
Limbo.
been to the
Yeah,
brewery once or twice, but
it's cool.
I
We used to
usually go to
do
like to SP because it's right around the corner.
I do love me some good 2SP. Let's our next episode we'll shoot down to 2SP and grab something there. And
And
you're up on picking this time. So
I got you. I'll find something. A little
all
something,
right, sounds good. All right, so what have you watched? I mean, again, it's been a couple of years. She-Hulk was so bad that we just needed to take some time off.
something.
So the only
Between
redeeming
that and the
quality was
Marvels.
Daredevil. But yeah,
Real
so
quick,
now that we're
can I
pivoting a
go on a
little bit,
can I just go on a rant real quick about She-Hulk?
please do.
how fucking bad of an like character development are you that you're not even like the main character of your own TV show? Like literally, I feel like she was a side quest in her own freaking TV show.
I mean, look at the book of Boba Fett. They did the same thing. It was just Mandalorian season 2.5.
Right, but that's all building to a bigger thing. Because I'm pretty sure they're working on like they're gonna be working on a movie. I don't know if it's true. I heard it's called like The Mandalorian and Grogu right now is like the working title.
I'd be cool with that.
To where it's supposed to work in like everything, where all the Mandalorians, it's supposed to work in Ahsoka, it's supposed to work in like everything.
Sweet.
Like She-Hulk, it was just bad.
It was terrible. We got a lot of shit to cover that we've watched. She-Hulk, one of those things that's just, I hope they never make a second season. Just fuck it. We got Daredevil Born Again coming up. We got so much other shit that has come out since then that has been so good. Just leave She-Hulk. Let it be. Same with the Eternals. Like, just let that die. We'll know it's there. Just let blip over it, get fucking rid of it.
See, if they found a way to now start working it in, like now that we're getting X-Men and stuff, okay, then I get it. But like I'm not, I have zero plans on watching the Marvels, and I feel like from what I've heard from other people, they're like, just watch the post-credit scenes, that's all you need to know. I'm like,
So I
okay.
watched it. I watched it because I'm gonna bring it back. At this point, I don't even like have a grudge against Brie Larson anymore, but I feel like I just have to keep the continuity. Hashtag fuck Brie Larson. But like, honestly, The Marvels wasn't so much a bad movie as it was like if you've ever watched any fighting movie and they have that like training sequence where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna like work our way up to the big fight, and then like the big fight is a big chunk of the movie, or maybe they lose like in Rocky, and then there's the redemption. I felt like 70 to 80% of the movie was like the unknowing training portion. 10% was the scroll, and then there was like 5% jokes, 5% main story.
Oh, and now you mentioned Scroll. How bad was that show? I don't remember what the name of it was. Was it
Secret
Secret
Invasion.
Secret
I'm gonna be
Invasion?
honest
Yeah.
with you, it was a hard pill to swallow. And again, same thing. It's like it was supposed to be a Nick Fury show, which had so much promise because A, Samuel L. Jackson. Let's fucking be real about that. But B, you had the ability to go no go any death that has ever happened in the Marvel universe. And
Right.
you just said we're gonna get fucking weird.
Like the whole like just you're building up to this big fight, which number one, as far as comics go, that's like top five storyline amongst all Marvel comics. Like hands down one of my favorite runs in Marvel. So I was like so excited for that show. And literally like the final fight, it was just like, oh, let's show off all these powers that you've seen in all 30 of our other movies, just with two people. It was like a 5 minute fight. And then they kill off like the most charismatic character, which I don't, like I said, I don't even remember his name. It was whoever the villain was.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, that show,
It was just a
much like the
blurred.
Marvels and She-Hulk, I'm just kind of like I'm past it. I feel like everything after Endgame, now not everything after Endgame, I'm not going to say everything, but like a majority of it has been straight garbage.
Yeah, like number one, I don't get the hate for Ant-Man and the or Ant-Man Quantumania. Like I
I
didn't think it
like
was.
that.
That's what I mean. Like everybody's like, oh, like it was poorly written, this and that. Like it's not our fault that Jonathan Majors did whatever Jonathan Majors did, and that fucked up the entire thing. That'd be like a Josh Brolin, like after the first Avengers movie, just went out and like ran somebody over. It's like, oh, we don't have Thanos anymore. Like, what are we gonna build to? Because
Yeah.
honestly, like Marvel shot themselves in the foot because all they had to do was in the post-credit scene not have every single Kang be him.
Yep. They needed
Literally, you
one
sprinkle
one
in one
Kang
or
to
like
not
you
be.
sprinkle in one or two other actors, and now it's like, oh, we just recast them, and now you're fighting this variant. But no, you made
Or
every single one him.
to take to jump off of that, if you just made again, if you had like a couple other people, like again, like you said, one or two actors that maybe sprinkled in, and they were like 10 or 20 of the full Kangs, you could literally make fucking Joe Schmo off the street a Kang and be like, nah, this is just Kang variant from fucking Earth 1007.
Yeah, because
Cool.
like
And we'd never think to, I mean, sure, would we be upset Jonathan Majors wasn't playing it because I thought he was a good villain? Absolutely. But I get it. Marvel and Disney and that whole like sector has to really protect their assets.
no, and I completely understand that too, but it's just like you literally have a multiversal character that you just like trapped yourself into by having it be portrayed as one person when you literally had a post-credit scene that could have fixed all of it.
I mean, in all fairness, though, they did that a few times. They got Benedict Cumberbatch and Emily, Jesus Christ, Ashley Olsen. What the fuck's her name?
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen, Mary Kate and Ashley. There we go.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch, but like they are across every universe and multiverse, they are the same character. So they did themselves the same with those two. Thankfully, they're good people.
Right. And like it makes sense for those characters because like they're Nexus beings. So that's the whole point of the Nexus being is that you're the same, you follow the same path in every universe, you follow the same thing, you look exactly the same. Because the way they originally talk about it is like, oh, the further you get away from like the home universe, the more distorted your variants look. Like the less you look like yourself, which is why you get three different Peter Parkers. But then it's like, oh, so this one character now you're just not gonna apply that to. Which I mean, I'm hoping the rumors are true because allegedly in the Fantastic Four movie, you're gonna get Doctor Doom and Galactus.
Ooh,
So, I mean, Doctor Doom could easily fill the Kang role and be just as opposing of a threat. But I don't know if you noticed this or not, but when you go onto like Google and you Google Deadpool and Wolverine, it lists the villain as Mr. Sinister.
I'd be okay with that. I haven't Googled it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm
I haven't watched any
trying.
trailers or anything. I
Yes, I'm
literally
trying
just
my best to stay away. I think what was the Super Bowl might have been the only time I watched it.
honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I was pretty intoxicated during the Super Bowl and I don't even remember the commercial. I remember seeing it, but like I didn't hear anything. Like I saw the images, but
Strictly
I
because
literally just Googled it to look up what the release. Me and Daniel went to the movies on Monday, and I was like, oh, like I wonder when it's coming out because like maybe there will be a preview for it. And like I just Googled it just to look up the release date, and all it says is villain is Mr. Sinister. So I'm like, huh, okay, because that's another character that like could have huge impacts on the
absolutely,
MCU.
absolutely.
So, but
Yeah,
we'll
no, I think
see.
that
I
would be
mean,
awesome. Um, Hell, you could have a fucking Galactus killed Kang, Mister Sinister, Doctor Doom. Anybody killed the Kangs of the universes, and write them off that way. There's no way you can just make them disappear. He was a huge part of Loki.
yeah, like there's literally an entire season of Loki built around it.
Correct. So like
So it's like,
it's going to be a tough. I want to see how they do it. I'm sure they're going to navigate it well, but it's going to be an interesting thing to see. Um, yeah. So I guess to sort of work our way back to what we're doing with the podcast now, Mark and I are going to be doing every other week, about half hour ish episodes, just to kind of keep things easy on our lives, our work schedules, and home life. For both of us has been pretty crazy, but things that we have to look forward to. We have May the 4th weekend. Fan Expo is going to be in Philadelphia. So just like we did a couple of years ago, we're going to go to Fan Expo. Mark and I have early access, 3 day passes. So we're going to hopefully meet some people there, chat some stuff up, maybe see some people we've seen before, maybe meet some new people that would like to do some intro stuff for us. I know Mark Cho is going to be back, so I got to stop by his booth and say thank you for being the voice of something super for so long, and get some stuff signed by him. But yeah, I know that's going to be a huge one. I'm very, very, very excited to go to that, mostly because I have so many celebrities that I've got autographed that I paid for. So it's gonna be a long 3 days.
Ah, dude, I'm so excited. Like, I'm like going back and like watching like a lot of the like animes that like people are gonna be there and stuff. I just watched the live action Yu Yu Hakusho. Did you ever watch the cartoon?
I have not. So since our last podcast episode, I have started watching some anime stuff. Still very much.
What have you been checking out?
So I started watching One Piece because I watched the live action series. I think that was like the biggest one that I started. Um, I know it's like an honorary anime. I rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender, but um, what the hell else was I told to watch? Attack on Titan.
I haven't had a chance to check out Attack on Titan. I started One Punch Man, but like it just can't hold my attention. I don't know. But
That's
I
fair.
went back, I just finished rewatching Dragon Ball Kai, and Dragon Ball
Okay.
Super. Uh, but I'm getting ready to start the live action Avatar if I can get my Netflix to work because my dog
Oh,
decided she wanted to chew my Roku remote. So now I gotta wait
oh,
a week because I ordered a new one.
you know you can download the app for your phone, right?
I know, but I have the stick, so it's like the stick is useless
No, dude,
otherwise.
download the app. My buddy used to have the stick, and I used to fuck with him because I could download the app and drive by his house and change the channel.
Just start changing channels. I used to do that yeah, I used to do that to my roommate when I lived with him. I would hear his TV and like I would like turn the volume down, turn it off, and I would hear him start like flipping out.
I think I know who you're talking about. So most of the cast right now, you have Sokka, Suki, and then the Fire Lord's evil children. They're going to be at Fan Expo.
Zuko and Azula.
Yes, I'm so excited for all of them. Um, I thought Zuko was really well cast. Actually, I'm happy with the casting of pretty much everyone except May, who is like
I've heard
Zuko's
the
movie
casting is
girlfriend.
like spot on.
It is,
Like I
and the
forget if
and
it
I,
was you or somebody else, but they were like, dude, like Sokka comes on screen, like you know it's Sokka.
oh,
Like
dude,
Katara comes on screen, like you know it's Katara.
every character that comes on screen, including like Jet and the Freedom Fighters, like you know who they are because the costumes are so good. The casting was really good. The story, again, if you are a purist that loved Avatar from like what it was when it first started, you might be a little upset because it obviously it doesn't follow the direct storyline because there's 8 episodes like most Netflix and Disney and all of those series do now. It's got 8 hours, which again, the original book one, I think is much longer than that, if I'm not mistaken. But like it just they're trying to fit it in and they do a really good job of it. I applaud them for what they did. I can look past timeline being a little wonky.
That's what I was gonna say, because I don't think Jet comes in until book two, correct? In the in the original
No,
cartoon?
no, it's I swear to God, it's book one. It's when Katara's first learning to like. I could be wrong. It could be book two. Um, I don't know. Again, it's
I
been.
forget when. Maybe they do come in. Maybe they are towards the end of book one.
I thought they were because Katara is still kind of like learning. It's when she first learns to like freeze people. Um,
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
but my whole thing, like, I can look past it because I'm here to be entertained, right?
Right.
I'm not there to nitpick them. I'm not there to like, oh, this line wasn't said word for word. No, like it's an entertaining show. The fucking graphics, phenomenal. Like it is just, it's a good series.
You mean they don't do like a 10-minute dance for one little pebble to go across the screen?
Correct.
Dude, I'm so aggravated that movie was ever made. Like I love
It's
what's
so
its face.
bad. This could make that like this is gonna retcon that.
Oh, I know. Like
Thank God.
it sucks because I love what's his face who like directed the movie M. Night
Oh,
Shyamalan.
oh, M Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah, but like literally, yeah. I don't even can't even say I've watched that movie beginning to end. I've seen pretty much the whole movie in bits and pieces. But as soon as I heard them say Ong, I was like, all right, I'm out.
Oh,
Like if you
dude,
can't even get the
that
names right, like you're
and I
killing me.
had so much hope for that because I loved Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was one of those shows that like is timeless, I think. I was lucky enough to grow up sort of alongside it. Like I was just young enough to still be watching Nickelodeon and cartoons and stuff, still being a kid and old enough to like understand the more deeper aspects of the show. But for
Right.
me, it was one of those things that like I could rewatch it now in my 30s and be like, wow, the character development again, there's going to be silly shit. It's a kid's show. But I'll be damned if the Netflix series is like they just said fuck all the kid shit. We're just gonna it's dark, it's gritty, it's Netflix.
Well, that's what I was explaining to like Jay in the group chat the other day. It was like, dude, it's a cartoon, but like if you read between the lines, like it's pretty mature for a cartoon.
Dude, it won awards that like major motion pictures won for character development, for storytelling, shit like that. Like, and hate on Legend of Korra all you want. It's a decent series. When like I watched it the first time, I hated it because I was like, this isn't the gang, this isn't the
Right.
original group. Then I rewatched it and I was like, you know what? Like, I feel for her. She went through some shit.
Yeah, like
And
I
eventually,
haven't
like,
had a chance to check that out yet.
oh
But
my
like
God,
that's what I've heard. I've heard like the first time you're gonna hate it. They're like, but the
yeah.
more you watch it, the more it grows on you and the more you pick up like little things and this and that.
I would say give it two watches, not even like close together. So just like give it a watch.
Watch it, let it breathe,
Yeah,
watch it
let
again.
it sink in, really like sink in. There's gonna be shit in there. You're like, that's just fucking stupid. But they really learned from the first Avatar. So this is not, I'm not even giving anything away. Like season one, they find out who the Avatar is. Obviously, they do the test with the toys and stuff like that, whatever. But this little like girl comes out, kicking through a wall, like knocks down a rock wall, punches fire out, throws some wall. Like obviously, it's the Avatar. There is
Right.
no doubt in anyone's mind that this person who's bending three of the four elements flawlessly is just not the Avatar. But then they take her to some like training facility for the first like 18 years of her life or 20 years or however many years that she's there, and she is just nonstop training with the White Lotus. Right, like that right there. They were like, we fucked up with the previous Avatar, and we're not doing that shit again.
Yeah, like I mean, to me, I love like in the original cartoon, like the White Lotus was like when they all came together at the end, it's like, oh shit, like Iroh's like actually not one to trifle with. Like
That's everyone in the White Lotus. They're all like old people that you're like, oh, they're just like Boomy. He was so unsuspecting in the beginning. He's just some crazy old guy who just happens to be shredded and like the best earthbender except for Toph in the world.
now I know you're not like you're just now kind of dipping your toes in anime. I can tell you right now, there's one rule to all animes. The crazy old guy, whether it's Boomy, whether it's Master Roshi, like they are the most badass characters in the show, no matter how weak and defenseless they originally come off. Like,
I've learned that slowly because I watched Dragon Ball when I was younger, and like Master Roshi is one of those characters that is just ingrained in my head forever as just like the old guy with the cane that's just a bad motherfucker.
yeah, like, and he just gets crazier, like as the shit, like through Dragon Ball Z, and then even through like Super, like Roshi fights in the Tournament of Power.
Fair enough.
Like, this is a tournament held by gods and godlike beings of strength. And there's Master Roshi.
Just a dude, crazy as
Like,
fuck.
he's he's just
I
like,
love it.
all right, but
All right, so we're gonna keep these episodes short, probably about a half hour. So we're gonna be wrapping up here in a few minutes. But I guess before we wrap up, Mark, now that we have Fan Expo coming up, who are like the top three, top five people you're looking to meet?
obviously Hayden. If
Oh
I can meet
yes,
Hayden, that would be it. That would be it. We met Ashley last time, and she was awesome. She's one of the nicest celebrities I've personally ever come across.
She really
Just
is.
watching her on Twitter and everything else, like what she does for her fans, what she does for like the Star Wars community. Um, and then honestly, I don't even I it's crazy, but I think one of my top people would actually be Creed Bratton, just because like his
Gotta
character on
love
The Office
Creed.
is that's what I mean. Like he's just because me and Danielle are watching the fan edition
The
episodes on
super fan
TikTok,
episodes.
the super fan episodes, and like just the shit he says on that is so much more outlandish. Like it's I would just love to be like, dude, like where did you come? Like, was that written for you? Like, how much of that stuff is improvised? Like,
I think in
how
the
do you keep a
beginning it was
straight
probably
face playing that
script.
character?
Oh
Just
yeah,
like,
I think eventually he got to a point where they were just like, do whatever the fuck you want.
that's what I mean.
And
Like, because like my favorite line still is the one where like Jim, I think it's when Jim goes to Philly and he comes back and he's like Creed's like filling him in on like what was happening. He's like, yeah, we did this and that, and then there was a funeral for a bird. And Jim's like, yeah, I don't think any of that happened, but it's funny because like it sounds so crazy coming from Creed, but like all of it were things that happened. And Jim just like immediately writes them off. But no, I think definitely Hayden would be number one. I wish Sam what's his name?
oh, Sam Witwer,
I wish Sam
Darth
Witwer
Maul.
was gonna yes, I wish he would be there, but maybe one day, maybe next year, maybe somewhere. But those are probably my three. Who would you say are yours?
All right, so right now, obviously Hayden. He was my white whale last year, and I fucked up big time by not pre-purchasing an autograph for him, which like you can't purchase in person. I didn't know that. My only experience was like the prior year when we went and we just like waited in line for Ashley. And we were like, fuck it, like we'll get there when we get there. And then we paid for it up front and then like we did it. So I was like, maybe I'll just wait in line for Hayden. Like, I don't care if it's going to take 4 hours. And then I found out after 2 hours of waiting in line that you had to pre-purchase a photograph or an autograph with him. And like, that just broke my heart because I carried around like, I don't know, 10 pounds worth of lightsaber plus box because I wanted to get it signed by him. And I just felt like a smacked ass. So the second that they announced him, I immediately bought it because I will not fucking do that twice. So Hayden's number one. My number two, I think I have two people. Rosario Dawson, because she played such a great Ahsoka, and I'm obviously going to wait for Ashley, but I already got Rosario's as well. I want them both to sign my limited edition Ahsoka Saber set. Alan Tudyk, who, if you're an older person, you probably know him as Steve the Pirate. If you have kids, you know him as the Duke of Wesselton from Frozen or Duke Weaseltown in Zootopia. He has also been in like a million other movies. He plays Hey Hey in Moana. Like it is, he's done so many voices for so many characters. He's in Star Wars, Rogue One. Like this man is just timeless and limitless. Like he has zero fucking limit to his character ability. And my number three might be Cameron Monaghan because he inspired an entire series. Again, Sam Witwer, same way. If he was on there, he'd be probably number two. But Cameron Monaghan inspired an entire Star Wars gaming series. So I think I'm super excited about him. Yeah, so I think that's it for me. Um, I know we got to wrap this up here in a minute, but Mark, any final parting words for our listeners?
No, just new format, new podcast. Tune in every other week or every week or whatever we decide to do.
So I think we're gonna shoot for every other week. We're probably gonna post on Saturdays to keep things fresh. All right. So as I was saying, I'm going to try to do a quick outro. We have to update some of our socials and stuff, and we have to get a new email, I think, at this point. But give us a follow, give us a listen on all of our major streaming platforms and on Instagram, Facebook. We might even fucking start a TikTok. Who knows? We're going to be at the Nerds Who Drink. And Yeah, guys, please share this with your friends, family, your neighbor, your dog. I don't care. Give us a listen. Last but not least, as always, I'm Steve,
Mark.
and we'll catch you guys when we catch you.